Welcome if this your first time on the channel. Today we are listening to the audio of Isiah Thomas. He's back hating on Michael Jordan. And the way he hated on him this time is crazy. But he caught himself up hating to where it made no sense. So we're going to listen to him, and then I'm going to play some audio from Isiah Thomas, which will show you the real reason he is hating on Michael Jordan, in case you didn't know. Now, if this is your first time here, make sure you sub to the channel. Click that like button. That's how they push the video. I appreciate you. Let's go.
OG, there's always a debate about the golden era of basketball.
Okay.
Some think it's right now. Others think it was more your era,
Right now.
mid-'80s, early '90s. What's your take on that?
Our era is considered to be the golden era. This is what I don't understand about your era, right? You guys are playing with arguably the greatest player to ever play. And excuse me when I say this, but y'all treat him like he ain't nothing. And I'm talking wow. Y'all act like, well, y'all instead of pubbing y'all era up, y'all go back and say our era was the greatest. Oh, Michael Jordan was the greatest. Nobody could ever be greater than Michael Jordan, right? Okay, and then you turn around, but in your era, LeBron James sitting there, he holding every single basketball record. I mean, every single one of them.
He not.
And you're looking at a Kevin Durant and you're looking at a Steph Curry, but then when y'all say who the greatest, y'all talk about the guy that gave you some shoes and, gave you some warm-ups.
Hater.
Fair.
Hey, on this show, for the record, me, Boogie, and Lou will all agree that LeBron's the greatest.
No, I'm an MJ person, but Isiah, I'm 50 years old. Like that's what made me love basketball was Michael Jordan. I'm not just going to change my mind. He could be second.
Well,
Second's not bad.
Here's what will make you change your mind on, or at least critically think about,
Okay.
right? And I'm a historian of the game, and I'm not a hater. I'm just when I speak facts, people think it's hate. But you can't in no sports category, when we talk about track, when we talk about tennis, when we talk about football, baseball, the arguably the best players or athletes in those sports, they hold the world records. I know we talk about Jordan, but he leads in no statistical basketball category.
Points per
But
game.
yet we say there's an argument about him being the best. But then when you look at Kareem and you look at LeBron, those guys lead in several statistical categories. But yet we say somebody else is better. And, I'm just giving you like the evidence, right? Here's the evidence. And what, 15 years from now, when the next generation come along and they talk about how great LeBron James was and how great Kevin Durant was and Steph Curry was, it won't even be a conversation or debate. Your generation right now is the only, y'all say we hating on y'all hating on yourself.
Nobody from the generation that I'm from is hating on LeBron. It's simple. He just ain't better than MJ. It's just simple. It ain't even like, how can we debate this on the court? You got to bring a bunch of off the court stuff in. On the court, he has a losing finals record. On the court, he's a flawed basketball player. That's what it's about, Isiah Thomas. He has flaws. Michael Jordan don't. Simple as that. LeBron can't shoot. He don't got the best dribbling. He can't shoot free throws. Mid-range ain't good. He got flaws. He don't shoot over his left shoulder. He don't shoot going left to right. Them are flaws in his game, and everybody can see it. Then you compare him to a Michael Jordan who was a master of basketball. It's simple as plain. Michael Jordan got crazy stats. He got records that you could bring up with scoring titles and all types, but it ain't even about all that. It's simply about basketball. That's what it's about. If you watch LeBron, you know LeBron is a pick and roll demon. That's why his stats are like that with the points and the assists. All he does is run high pick and roll. He can't run a system. And this is why Isiah Thomas is exposing himself. In the same interview, before we play why he really hate Michael Jordan. And when I say hate, everybody know it. Isiah Thomas hate Michael Jordan. But let's listen to him in the same interview when he's talking about how the game is played today. He's talking about LeBron James' style. What he's talking about. Literally speaking on LeBron. So let's listen to that.
I want to get to you and everything that you think about the difference between your time, this time, all that's going on in the league. And there's so much talk. And I know it's like, oh, the old guys, the young guys. When you watch what's happening today, who do you think, or what percentage of players in the league today would have been great when you played?
I think a great majority of them still would have been great. I think Durant still would have been great in our era. I think, LeBron, of course, and Steph with his ability to shoot the basketball. His game would have been a little different, but he still would have, been great because he can shoot the ball from half court. I look at again, as I referenced earlier, I think the game has been simplified. And the complexity of the game schematically has changed. Now, those players I just named, intellectually, they would have the brain power to understand the schemes that were being instituted at that time. In this era, there's only one scheme defensively. Everybody switches, and there's only one scheme offensively. Everybody plays, pick and roll.
Boom.
So there's no, moving your teammates around. There's no getting people in foul trouble. There's no understanding, full court press, half court press, zones, all the stuff that you had to come into the game with. You used to get a playbook about, this size. Now you don't even, they don't even practice now. So, but I do think that the really upper echelon in the league right now, they would have been able to play in our era. Now, would they have been able to be dominant in our era?
Okay, listen. This is why it makes no sense. Because on one end, he's saying LeBron the greatest ever. And on one end, he describes how this era plays an inferior style of basketball. Simple and inferior. That's LeBron James' game. That's all he does. What happened is the league, the players, see the praise that LeBron gets for running nothing but pick and roll and working off switches. He's a big athletic guy. He's like, okay, I can handle the ball well enough. I don't got any moves, so I'm just going to run high pick and roll to death. And then all the other players, Cade Cunningham got a skill set. He could dribble and stuff, but he plays the same way. All these guys that's 6'6" and above, they're not point guards. James Harden ain't a point guard. Luka is not a point guard. He just play with that same style. It's inferior, but all of them play like that. That is what Isiah Thomas is describing. He literally describes LeBron James' game and says it's simple, it's inferior, and then comes back and try to say he's the greatest player of all time. It makes no sense. And it's like, come on, Isiah, you are exposing yourself for just being a hater. Now, the good thing is he's done other interviews where he's hated on MJ. So we got the real reason. And I got it for you right here. This is when he was on All the Smoke. We're going to play this audio. Listen to Isiah Thomas hate on MJ.
Dick was on a plane. They was shooting a commercial in Atlanta. Him, Sam Jackson, everybody else. We were staying in the Four Seasons Hotel. We missed each other, right? Because he said he had to go, so he on the plane, right? I called him up. Magic didn't mention Michael Jordan. All right. So I'm still waiting. You know, everybody say this stuff publicly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do. All right, well, I'm the type of guy, I sit here, I talk to you, I talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't a person in this United States of America
Okay.
that I'm not willing to sit down and have a conversation with and break bread with.
I like that.
But if you lying and throwing stones from behind the scenes, okay, that's you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you honest and you upright on your square, I'm willing to deal with it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know, so that's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where do we go from here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you told me something interesting. I mean, you had family that had stayed with him at one point.
Absolutely. Hey, when Jordan first came to Chicago, first of all, we were fans of his, and to some extent,
Can't be nothing but.
still fans of his. My family, his family, not only did they socialize, hang out, but as I said, you know, I had a little nephew that lived with him. And everybody's still cool, right? Ain't no hate for Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
We just want some realness, right? Just, you know, like
I
I said,
like
you
that.
get on national television.
I'm gonna use that.
And ain't nobody nowhere has ever got on national television and called me an asshole and then publicly said, you hate me.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't heard that from you. I ain't heard that from you. I ain't heard that from no NBA player.
Mm-hmm.
And so and by the way, all them years that you supposedly hated me, you voted for me to be the president of your union.
Yeah, I seen a lot of pictures of All-Star games and y'all laughing and joking. It didn't look like hate.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, if that, you know, now maybe you felt like that privately, and I didn't know. But now that I do know, and by the way, if you didn't mean it that way, then publicly say it. Don't privately say it. You know, Magic, we don't need a private conversation. Mm-hmm. This man did this on national television, internationally. I have to answer this question, right, in every interview that I sit down and do.
Mm-hmm.
That is why he does not like Michael Jordan. It was the Last Dance documentary. And before that, they always had problems. Everybody knew about that. But on the Last Dance documentary, MJ said that Isiah Thomas was an asshole. Isiah didn't like that. And you know what's crazy? Isiah Thomas was in the Last Dance. So he really felt played. And that's why he go on these rampage. Oh, LeBron is the greatest and all of that. And it's like, Isiah, come on, man. For you to break down basketball in one segment like how you did, and you know you're breaking down LeBron James' style. He's a pick and roll guy. You know he's not as good as MJ. So I wanted to prove with these audios, we played Isiah Thomas hating on MJ. Then we exposed him in the same interview. Why? We know he's hating on MJ because he knows this style that LeBron has is inferior. And then we played the audio of him revealing the reason why he hating on MJ. So hopefully everybody got to understand it of why Isiah Thomas is saying what he's saying. But y'all let me know, what do y'all think? Do you think Isiah Thomas is right to still be holding this grudge against Michael Jordan after all this time? Or do you think he need to let it go and stop doing these interviews, exposing himself as a hater? Put it down in the comments. As always, if this is your first time here, make sure you sub to the channel. Check out the other content. Click that like button. That is how they push the videos. I appreciate you. As always, y'all be easy. Be safe. Peace.